The heirlooms in Apex Legends already look so awesome at face value, but there's so many hidden secrets, hidden animations, secret tricks, and voice lines that can be activated when you do different things, and I want to show you those today and compare every single heirloom so that if you get lucky and get the heirloom shards, you know which one to choose. By the end of this video, you'll know everything about third-person animations, special effects when you hit people, voice lines, hidden animations, and everything else you could ever want to see. It's all going to be shown in this video. So let's jump in. Obviously CAUSTIC'S heirloom has joined the fray, so we'll start there, but we'll definitely go through every single one currently in the game right now. Let's go. So let's start things off with the latest heirloom, CAUSTIC'S Death Hammer. If you didn't notice already, it actually glows in the dark. This thing's really awesome. There's multiple inspect animations, a rare animation that will make you, it might make you jump a little bit. There's a few equip animations, as you'll see here. For example, this one where he kind of like presses the handle. I think there's 4 in total. There's a few different hit animations. There's also a few different animations when you're running. And I'll explain those as we go. So I guess we'll get straight into some of the inspect animations. This is the inspect button. Now this one's probably one of the quirkiest ones. He gets his coffee mug you see in one of his banner frames and he drinks it. It's not that rare. In fact, you can see here we get it 2 times in a row. Really awesome to see. Like that they added this detail. A lot of people are wondering if this would literally be the heirloom, but I'm glad it's this hammer and that's thrown in as a secret. Now it looks like he uses gas canisters and it pumps it up with gas, and sometimes one of the inspect animations he reloads it. And then we have this one where he looks at this skull, and there are a few variations of it. For example, that one where the eyes light up, and then you have one which kind of just does nothing and you get a good long look at it. It's very, very awesome. Now the secret animation is very fitting for Halloween, and it may have some lore behind how CAUSTIC'S abilities actually work. I think he was going to do it. Yeah, here we go. I knew it. Look at that. That's a thumbnail moment. Oh my god! Jeez! That made me jump! What? It's so rare that I couldn't get it again in the firing range after trying for about 10 minutes, but yeah, here we are with some of the attack animations. We'll show these in third person later as well. They definitely got a certain weight to them and it feels really satisfying when you hit people. There's also sort of like a gas effect when you hit the ground, and each heirloom sort of has a unique effect, at least most of them do when you hit something, and a very satisfying clunk when you whack something as well. As you can see here, here's the gas effect in action. It actually makes a slightly different noise depending on if you hit someone with armor or with health. Now, as you slide, you'll do like a cool little spin with the hammer. If you have auto sprint on and tap inspect, which is like a unique inspect, you get this little spinning thing that happens, which is really cool. There's sort of 2 inspect types. There's the static inspect, which has a variety of animations, and then the running inspect, which you can do when you have sprint on toggle. So yeah, this is pretty much CAUSTIC'S first person animations. Let's now play the unique kill quips that play when you kill someone with the heirloom in game. This is unique to the kill quip you unlock by itself.
Any thrill I may appear to have is purely scientific. Note to self, extrapolate damage output data. Need subjects. Living. Even I have to admit that one was just for fun. I'm beginning to enjoy this.
And this is how CAUSTIC'S heirloom looks in third person. Very, very awesome. It looks a little bit goofy, I'll be honest. Some of the animations seem a little rough around the edges, but that's usually the way with the third person ones. They seem to be a little bit borrowed from Bloodhounds, but this overhead thing is pretty awesome. Imagine getting hit by this. It's definitely going to strike fear in your enemy's eyes, that's for sure. It's quite cool. And I do like the way it sort of sits on CAUSTIC'S back when you have a weapon equipped. That's a really nice touch. All legends have this, but this one it fits CAUSTIC'S so well. Alright, now we're on to Bloodhound. This is the initial inspect animation you saw there. Each legend has a unique inspect animation when they first land or first get switched, but this is the only animation that happens when you're actually in the game. It's just this one here. Very cool. You get a nice long look at the heirloom itself. There's a lot of lore behind this one. If you haven't watched the Stories from the Outlands cinematic, I definitely suggest watching it. There's a few different hit animations as well, depending on your height and stance. My favorite is the jumping one. That looks really cool, as you'll see right here. Yeah, that's awesome. probably one of the coolest attack animations in the game. We also have this special effect where it sort of has these red flash effects when you hit something. It seems like it's kind of like imbued with some supernatural power. Now here are the kill quips when you kill someone with the heirloom.
I grace the Allfather, Odin bear witness, Valhalla awaits us both, Hrafn's bitter, bring me glory, Raven's bite, bring me glory.
And this is what Bloodhound's heirloom looks like in third person. It's actually really awesome. I like the way Bloodhound holds it over their head. Now when you crouch, it's kind of a bit glitched or slide. It looks like you're holding a weapon when you aren't. This is something that's probably going to be fine-tuned over time. It usually is. As we'll see later of OCTANE'S heirloom, it's still not perfect, but they have improved it slowly over time with more animations, so it's a little less buggy. But yeah, pretty good. Some nice animations. The overhead one looks awesome. The slide one looks pretty cool. And of course, this is what it looks like on Bloodhound's back. Next, we have Lifeline. This is my favorite heirloom. There's so much character in this one. You got a really cool initial equip animation. Then this inspect animation is awesome. You get a real good look at the heirloom itself. Very long animation, which is just perfect, right? You get a really good look at it. A real awesome animation that just keeps going and going. There's so much detail in this one. It's so awesome. And it doesn't stop there. There's unique sound effects when you hit someone with this. It sounds so satisfying. But first, let's have a little look at the equip animation when you switch from weapons. They extend from the handle, which is really awesome. And then, yeah, it's just so satisfying. Everything about this is so satisfying. I love the effects around the electricity, the jumping attacks, the sliding attacks, the noises on this thing. It's so good. And because the buttons are quite small themselves, it's pretty unobtrusive, unlike, say, Mirage's or CAUSTIC'S, which is a really nice touch. And if you're running and you have auto sprint on and then you press the inspect animation, it will do this constant flipping, which is just so satisfying to do in game, as you can see here. And it does that once every while when you're sliding as well. So yeah, really nice heirloom. This one's my favorite, without a doubt. So now what we'll do is we'll play the kill clips when you kill someone with heirlooms, with Lifeline's heirloom, and then after that we'll have a look at the third person animations.
You got flatlined. Now you're out of my way. So sorry. You're out of lifelines. This way's faster. Feel that rhythm drop. Kill that beat.
So there's not really any secrets with this heirloom, but it's really, really awesome regardless. It's just so clean. And the third person animations are really hilarious. The overhead one is just so cool. As you can see here, it really does get me laughing. Now, a lot of the other heirlooms do have secret animations, which we'll talk about later. CAUSTIC'S one, for example, has the spider one. Mirage has a number. In fact, there's 2 have been found, and apparently there's a third, but nobody's found it yet. So maybe it's bugged, or it's not in the game yet, or something like that. But yeah, that's really, really cool, and I'll show you those later. One is so rare that I haven't got it myself. I spent hours in the firing range trying to get it. I've never had it once, ever. But we'll show you those in a second. Here we have Pathfinder's. Now, Pathfinder's boxing gloves are pretty cool. There's no equip animation for them, but the inspect is absolutely awesome, as you'll see here. Very colorful, but they do take up a lot of screen space, which is a bit of a problem, I'll be honest, but hey, Pathfinder hits Arta, Bloodhound's not going to be happy about that. Really awesome heirloom, and we'll show you some other things. Now, there is no inspect animation when you're running, as you can see here. But you do get like different faces that appear. For example, when you run, it goes to the love heart Pathfinder face, which is pretty cute. And you can sort of like crouch spam and do this little animation here, which is fun. And there are quite a few unique hit animations as well, which we'll show you now. We have just the basic ones and then some rarer ones. And unfortunately, they're so rare that I didn't manage to get it on a further recording of this. I got it in the past, so we'll show you like an older recording. First, this slap animation is quite hilarious, I have to admit. But then, yeah, straight up here, we have 2 different variations. We have one where it extends one boxing glove like this, just in such a comedic fashion, right? Here we go. Play it in slow motion here for you. And then there's another one where he actually extends 2. It's time for Pathfinder's kill quips.
You're a bum, friend. Oh boy, right in the eye of the tiger. I could have been a contender. And I am. Do you like my new toys?
And here's Pathfinder's animations in third person. It's really strange how there's just one boxing glove on his back. He like actually takes it off and unequips it, which is a little strange, but yeah, it makes sense, I guess. Every heirloom has to go on their back when they're not using it. And yeah, it's pretty decent. I mean, there's nothing special about these animations. At the end of the day, he's still just punching and kicking. But you do see the boxing gloves. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the faces change in third person, only first person. You know, still very cool. Next, we have WRAITH'S. Now, WRAITH'S has some of the smallest amount of animations in the game. You just saw the initial equip animation there. This is the only inspect animation in the game for WRAITH'S. It's not as great as the other ones. It was the first heirloom added, but honestly, it's just so clean and satisfying to twirl around. When you sprint or turn directions, it does this little rotation. And whilst you're sprinting with toggle sprint on, if you press the inspect animation, you also just keep toggling it, twirling it, which is just so satisfying to do. But yeah, the animations aren't very fancy, but it's just clean overall, and one of my favorites personally. The melee animations are pretty simple as well. We've got some little slashes and kicks and punches, but when you do hit someone with it, there's this really cool sort of effect, like a little void tunnel appears, a really small one, which is awesome to see. I really like that effect. The sound is very iconic, you hear it all the time. And yeah, here's the twirling animation, really satisfying to do without a doubt. So now let's play WRAITH'S kill clips and then we'll jump into third person animations.
I play the hand I'm dealt. All you need is all you have. That one's for you. Freedom's what you take. That's a clean cut. Swift, strong, simple.
So obviously WRAITH has had her animations changed recently. So this is the first time we really get to see WRAITH's animations in third person. I actually really like these. I think this looks awesome. It's just really nice. It reminds me of something, I'm not sure what. It has vibes like outside of Apex. I can't put my finger on it, but really cool animations. It's really clean, really well done. So yeah, one of my favorites without a doubt.
This thing just the cutest. Reminds me of me.
Next we have MIRAGE'S. Now, MIRAGE'S isn't really the typical heirloom weapon. Some people don't like it, but if you like Mirage, you're gonna love this. It has so many quirky voice lines and animations that fit him so well. Like, for example, he almost stumbles and drops it a lot of the time when he tries to equip it. And there's multiple little voice lines that play.
Oh yeah, I've still got the biggest ego I've ever seen.
As you can see, he pulls it and a drawstring comes out. And he has different voice lines, as you can see here. I'm not sure how many there are, but there do seem to be quite a lot. Now, there are a few different animations that play as well. He has this one where he pulls the drawstring and then says a voice line afterwards. And there's also another one that plays where sort of like it activates into party mode. This one seems to be a little rarer, but if you keep spamming the inspect animation, you will eventually get it, as we'll show you in a second. It's pretty awesome, and once again at the end he almost fumbles and drops it, which is just hilarious. Mirage's heirloom also feels super satisfying to hit people with. You literally get this awesome thunk. And there's also unique voice lines that come from the statue when you hit someone sometimes as well. There's just so much character and Mirage style quirkiness in this, so if you're a Mirage fan, you're going to love this to pieces. It's really quite cool. Now, there are two super rare melee animations. One isn't as rare, and I've got it a few times. In fact, we got it in this animation here. You do this little eye poke thing, which is quite hilarious. But the rarest one is a pork chop, right? He pulls out a pork chop out of nowhere and thwacks somebody with it. And I've never had it. I've played Mirage tons. I've spent hours in the firing range trying to get it. I've never got it. Right, let's play some of Mirage's voice lines. There's quite a few. So we'll play the ones that play from the statue, and then we'll play the ones that come from Mirage himself, and then we'll look at the third person animations.
Bada boink! Whoops! A wink! What a whittle! Bam bam boozle!
Woo! Oh man, that was amazing. I think I'm hyperbole. I think I'm hypervent. I've had a really good time here. Oh yeah, my biggest fan's gonna love that. Mom. Guns? Who needs guns? I don't need guns. Oh, sorry. Looks like I didn't know my own strength. Sorry.
And then we have Mirage's third person animations. The heirloom kind of just sticks out, floating above his shoulders, which is a bit weird. It could be improved. I feel like it would be better on his side. We do have a few different things here. Some basic hit animations, you know, nothing too fancy. But there is something very unique with Mirage's heirloom that actually changes his third person model. When you have the heirloom equipped, all Mirage skins that have goggles on will actually have the goggles down on his face. This is a really unique thing, and when he slides, he points out his finger, as you can see here. Very unique, really awesome. I really like that. A very small touch, but I love that. Finally, we have OCTANE'S. Now, Octane was a little rough around the edges to begin with, but it's been improved since then. There's no equip animation or initial equip animation yet, as you see here, but it has been improved. Since last video I did on the Heirlooms, there's a new animation that plays when he sort of stops sprinting, which is really cool. He does a little flick here, but if you spam the inspect button whilst sprinting, it still does this weird thing, which is just a little strange. I don't know what's going on here. He's like waving it around. I don't think this is meant to happen. It's sort of like a transition animation happening. If it did this little twirl animation instead, it would be awesome, but that only happens when you stop sprinting and not whilst you're sprinting. Just a little sort of pet peeve of mine, but the actual animation itself is super cool, as you can see here. It basically just goes on forever. The animator that worked on this one has, yeah, very talented for sure. It's just a tiny little buff around the edges, and then, yeah, really nice animation regardless. Now, besides that, we have a few different hit animations, which are pretty satisfying. There's no unique effect when you hit someone. Most Heirlooms do have that. Unfortunately, Octane's does not. Now, because Octane has a few different poses, like for example when he's stimming, that means there's also a few different animations to show you. So here's the stim animation, pretty cool. And also, if you go on Octane's jump pad and then crouch in mid-air, you get this cool animation here, or pose I suppose. Alright, let's play Octane's kill quips.
They thought they could get the jump on me? Whoa, how many likes will that get? Increíble. Piernas, tienes mi corazón. Incredible. Amo estas piernas.
Now, Octane's third person model is a bit kind of messy. I mean, it's really cool how it's on his legs here. That's a good spot for it. But for some reason, when you slide or crouch, it kind of looks like you're meant to be holding a pistol instead. As you can see here, Octane's got the pistol pose and it just sticks for his hands. This needs to be adjusted in the future. Now the slide animation actually has been improved. I think it was a lot worse at launch. As you can see here, it actually points it out. It matches the same slide animation in first person, so that's pretty cool. So that's it. That's all Heirlooms tested, compared, all the secrets shown. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully this can help you to decide what Heirloom to buy. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio! Did you know I stream almost every day from 7 PM UK time or 11 AM Pacific Standard Time? You can catch me live right here on YouTube, so make sure you have notifications turned on. I also have a new members program. Become a member for $2.99 a month, get your comments highlighted in videos, get a cool badge in live stream chat, get access to these cute emotes, and also gain access to my members tips videos, where you can ask me for any tips and I'll be making new videos weekly to help you improve your own game. Click the join button or click the link in the video description to get involved.